Well, hey everyone, and welcome back to another video in the character select tutorial series. We're going to start working on animations today. I got a couple comments from people wanting to put some animations in there, so I'll go ahead and show you guys how to do that. First off, you will notice that I am using a different version of Unity. So my laptop died, and I needed to get a new drive in it, put a new drive in it, couldn't clone the old one. It gave me a bunch of trouble with cloning. So what I ended up doing was having to reinstall everything, and when you download Unity, this is the version that it gave me. But it doesn't do any issues to upgrade the old project to this new project to run it in here. If all of you are following along the series from the beginning in the old Unity, you don't have to update the Unity to do what I'm doing here. It still works on the old version as well. So let's go ahead and get into it today. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be working on animations today. So what we're going to do first of all is let's create some animations. So let's go to the character select UI and we'll take this off for a moment. Go ahead and uncheck this and it'll off with that. Save it. So what we're going to do now is we will go down here to the male townsfolk. Scroll down and you can see the different kind of sprites we have for different animations. Well, what we're going to do is let's drag this one into the scene. This. And what we're going to do is, oh no, I have backlist. That. Left click it and then control and then left click and drag it into here. It's going to pop up with a new animation. Let's call this face down idle. And we'll just save it here. Okay. So now what we have is the new animation. If we'll go up here, you will see face down idle right here. Well, that's cool. This alone, what we're going to need to do is add a new window. We're going to add animation window. Okay, it popped up on my other screen. So cool. Lock it into here. This cool. So notice how there's no animation clips or anything for these because we don't have animations on these. This is an animation, so now you can come into here and actually look to see. Click this, click down, and you can see what the animation is. We're going to go ahead, we're going to right click, we're going to delete this one. This entire animation is just going to be the sprite just sitting there. No big deal. It's going to hang out there. Boom. The idle sprite. Okay, cool. So now we have an idle animation. What we do now is let's go and clean up this hierarchy a bit. Go into here. I'm going to make a new folder. Animation. That. Come into here. We're going to grab this. Drag it into the animation folder. I can actually rename it. I don't like the naming convention that it gave it. So what we'll do is rename. There it is. Rename it. And we'll do face idle. Male face down idle. That's the name of that animation. Awesome. Now we have an animation. Well, let's go ahead and create one other anime. Let's go ahead and create all the animations. So that's this animation. You can delete it. We also need an animation for when he walks. Let's say when he just wants to walk down. We'll just do walking down. So he'll start with this one, then walk, left foot up, right foot up, and then he'll go back down. You can come here, here, control click all of these, come up, bring it up here. It's going to create a new animation. Click inside the animation folder, and we'll call this one male walk down. Save it. Okay. Inside the sprite editor, you can see here. You got the man here, the man here, the man here. You want to make sure it works? Watch this. Yeah, you're getting it. Alright, so that's what our walk down animation looks like. That's pretty neat. So we'll come into animation, make sure walk down, face down, idles there. This town folk. This one. Into here, we'll rename this. All down. Wait a minute. We have that animation. Oh, that's the controller. Male face down, idle. Huh. Well, this is what we need. Okay, so that's the animation. So it's making these controller. We don't want these. I'm going to delete that and figure out why it's doing that in a moment. We don't need that. We just need these animations. That's what the animation is. Face down, idle. Male walk. So we'll just do that for now. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go into here and we're going to create an animator controller. Call this one male. You can call it whatever you want. Male town. Oh no, male. We'll just do male. Animator controller. Oh. Okay. You open this up, it's gonna pop up with an animator window and all of this. Bunch of cool looking stuff. Well, the animations go inside of here. So you can actually drag these in here. This. Zoom out a little bit. Some more room, we'll get looking at it a little better. Alright, like awesome. Now we got the face down idle, we got the entry, we got the man walk down. So what we're going to do is we want to transition between idle to walk down and walk back. We're going to just set it up simple for now, and then we're going to go into the other ones later. So what we're going to do, we're going to make a transition to here. You can also go back from here. So in order to go from here to here, there is no exit time. You can turn fixed duration off, set transition to 0. Okay, that way there's no delay. And then we're going to come into motions, face down, eye. Motion is the male walk down, yes. Come into here. Exit time. Oh. Okay, there we go. That's what we need. We need to add a condition. Okay, so we'll have parameters, and we're going to make it a float. And the parameter that we're going to make is going to be called add it float, and then we're going to call move. It's going to be down, so we're going to move y. Move y. Then we're going to come in here, delete that. Come here and do move y is going to be less than 0. So if we're moving down on the y-axis, we're going to move the character downwards. So what we're going to do is we're just going to bring y is going to be less than 0. We're saying, hey, move. Okay? For this arrow, you also want to turn exit time off. Change the fixed duration off. Change this to 0. Okay? Come back here. Go inside the conditions. Move y has to be greater than or equal to 0 to go back to idle, like this. So less than 0 move, greater than, it should have been greater than or equal. I don't know why. We'll test that out in a minute. Okay, so this is your idle animation, this is your walk, this is how they're going to move back and forth between each other. Well, now we need to be able to set it up to where our character can do that. So what we're going to do is this animator controller, we need to interact with it. What we're going to do is we're going to go into our scriptable object character, and we're going to add some stuff to it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into the character, and we're going to say right under here under the sprite, okay, we're going to add public runtime animator controller. Call it animator controller. Okay. Reference animator controller. Sweet. So now we can hold a reference to an animator controller. Inside of here, when we initialize, we also have to tell it, hey, this dot animator controller, set it to, and then we got to come into here, pass in runtime animator controller. Okay. And we'll call it. No, don't click. I didn't click. Oh. Okay. Okay, so you got your animator controller here, then you come here and set it to this. Bam. Set the animator controller. There you go. So we can hold the animator controller and we can set it. That is all we need to do this script. Okay, so we'll come into here and then we can go look at our character prefab, which holds all of our character data. Here, waiting for it to load. Loading. Take a little bit, but when you hear the character prefab, awesome character component. So now we can go to our male or female prefab. We'll go to our male prefab, and oop, there's an error. Yep, okay, so we gotta set it in here. So in our character select script, we come over here, and then now we gotta initialize it here. Current character dot animator controller. That's it. Animator controller is gonna be set up. Minimize. Wait for all these errors to go away. And over here on male, you're gonna see a new field pop up. And there's your animator controller. You click this, and it's going to pop up with a window like this. And we're going to choose the male animator controller. Click X. So now, anytime we choose the male, he's going to have all his information set up for us already. No big deal. It's just like it's supposed to be. So now that all of that is set up, we should be able to, on entry point, if we look at our animator, if we look at the animator controller for the male, okay, at entry point it's going to automatically go to face down idle. So this is what we should see. But we want to test to make sure he can move. So what we got to do is we got to make the player move. So what we're going to do real quick is we're going to go and into the character component script, which we already have here open. I'm going to go into here. And we're going to add some values. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a, okay. Sprite renderer. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do private. Animator. Animator. Okay, inside of here on start, we're going to grab that animator component and store it. So this dot animator set to this dot get component animator This. Okay. Well, now that we have the animator, what we need to do now is we need to do this dot animator is going to be set to character data dot animator controller. Ooh, can't add an animator. Dot runtime animator controller. So what we're doing is on this, and before we forget, the object that has a character component attached to it, we need to go and we know it's our prefab. So we go to our character prefab, and it needs a animator. Boom. Awesome. This is going to be blank. Don't even worry about that. This is going to get filled in code. So right now, it has an animator to it. That's what we want. Go back into here. It's going to say on start, grab the animator component, grab its sprite, set the sprite from the data, set the animator controller on the animator to the character that we chose. This is how you're going to be able to pull what animator goes to what character. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go into here, void update. Inside the update function, this is where we're going to move the character. So what we're going to do is if input dot get axis raw, and we're going to do vertical. If we're moving up or down, the reason we're using get axis raw because it supports WASD, the up, down, left arrows, and I believe it also, I'm not too sure about joystick. I'm not too sure. But it's a lot better to use this than it is to use input.getKey because you have to put getKey for every key you want to use versus this works for multiple. So axis raw vertical is greater than 0.5 float or input dot get axis raw vertical less than -5. So if we're moving in the up direction or the down direction, okay, what you're going to do is you're going to come into here and you're going to do transform dot translate. You're going to basically say, hey, I want you to move the object that this thing is attached to a new vector 3. Okay, and we're not going to move in the X position. We're going to move in the Y position in this direction times here real quick public float move speed. We're going to multiply that times the move speed, however fast we want this character to go, times time dot delta time. That's in the Y direction, and then we're not moving in the Z direction at all. So what this says is, going to come into here, if you're moving up or if you're moving down, move the person in the, not in the X position or in the Y position, but in the Z position, but move them in the Y position, up or down, times this speed over time. That's what this line of code says. And what we're going to do to activate, and what we'll do before we even activate the animator, I'm going to show you what it looks like just to have the person move around the screen. That is what we will do. We'll come into here, and we will turn the character select UI back on. And what should happen is, let's bring it down so we can see some cool stuff here. We'll play. Alright, so we got our character. It's going to be the man. We're going to select. Press down. Oop, moving. Errors. Oh, no errors. Level 1. Let's look at them. Game controller, character prefab clone, got the sprite renderer. Oh, there's some other stuff. It's the animator that's giving issue. Okay. So entry point is face down idle. You should still be moving. That should make a difference. So character component. Okay, so it's got the animator. It set the animator up. Oh, it has no movement speed. 5. See? That's a Bobo. Now if you press up and down, look at how he moves. Okay, you can't move left or right, but you can move up or down. But we're not changing animations yet. And why are we not changing animations yet? Because we haven't said so in code. So first of all, let's go into here, and inside of our male prefab, excuse me, inside of our character prefab, we'll go here and just say the units can move times 2. Okay, so by default they're going to be set to 2. So now they're going to be moving. Couldn't move before because of that. Then we're going to go back into the character select script, character component. Inside of here, what we're going to do is we're going to do animator dot set float, and we called it move Y. And then the second value is going to be this. Moving in this move this direction. I want you to set the move Y value based on this. So what's going to happen now is when we go into here and we click play, load. Here, click play. And then we'll go choose the male. We'll select. He's not moving. Press down. Look, he's moving. You let go, it's still moving. Okay, I'll show you while we figure that out in a minute. But if you press down, he moves. Alright. Why is it moving like that? I'm going to show you why. So what we did in here was, it's less than Z. If the Y position is less than 0, if it's moving down, you got to move. But we want to go back if it's greater than 0. It's never greater than 0. It's only going to be at 0. So what we need to do is we need to figure this situation out. If it's greater than negative 0.1. Negative 0.1. Then we'll save the scene. Now this should work. So basically, if it's greater than negative 1, that means it's 0. So we'll come into here, we'll choose our guy. Sorry. Select. Press down. Look, he's moving. He stops. Press up. We didn't do that one yet. We didn't do the up direction yet. But we did the down direction. He's moving. Stops. He's moving. He stops. Awesome. So just to verify, go back and look at this again. Here. Up. Way is greater. Yeah, if it's greater than negative 1, you stop. Because if you put greater than 0, this isn't going to work. Because I know why he's moving up, but he's not doing. We didn't set an animation for moving up yet. We'll do that soon. Select. Yep, he doesn't move. Okay, so yes, that does fix it. That's what we need. So make sure you keep that. This is just for testing if it's greater than negative 1. Alright. So that's it for this video. In the next video, we're going to go ahead and we're going to finish off these animations for him to walk up, left, and right. And when we're done that, we're going to go and I'm going to show you how you can use an animator override controller so we can make one that's specific generalized animator controller that you can have with just different animations based on which unit you bring into the scene. I'll get into it more in the next video, but hope you enjoyed this one so far. We got the guy moving. Let's go ahead and get him moving in the other direction in the next video, and we'll move on to the animator controller override. Thank you. Now I'll talk to y'all in the next one. Later.